Hello, hi everyone. I'm just going to do a quick example for you on tax brackets. I know a lot of students have asked for some help on this, so I thought I'd just make a little video and do an example. So for this example, let's imagine that I earned $100,000 I need to pay taxes on. Okay, so we're going to break this up. This bar is going to represent my $100,000. Now, wherever I live, just for this example, I'm just going to make some numbers up. There's going to be 5 tax brackets. I thought I'd just do a few to make it a little more complicated so you can see how this works. A little more complicated example. So for the first $10,000 I make, I'm going to be subject to 10% tax. Anything above that, all the way to 30K, we're going to do 20%. We're going to go up to 50K, a little closer to half. At 30%, 70. All right, there we go. So it's $70,000. Anything between 50 and 70, I have to pay 40%. And then we're just going to do a 50% for 70,000 plus. All right. So it gets a little confusing because you're not applying these rates to the whole number at any time. We're just looking at a segment at a time. So as we look at it, change of color, our first section, we just need to find what are the taxes I'm paying right here. So it's going to be a pretty easy calculation. It's just going to be 0 to $10,000 is $10,000. That's the whole area of that square times the tax rate of 0.1, and that's going to equal $1,000. Now the second one is going to be slightly more complicated because we already counted dollar number 10,000. So we have to start at 10,001. So really simple way just to see where we're measuring from. We're going to go 30K minus 10,001. Then we're going to times that number by the tax rate of 0.2. And if you do that math, it comes out to 3,999 and 80 cents. All right. So just so I can remember the number, I made it so that this would always be the same pretty much. So this equals 19,999. Which, if you think about it in your head, 30,000 minus 10,000 equals 20, less 1, that's going to be 19,999. All right, moving on. Come examine our little third spot. So that's going to be 50K minus 30 and $1. And that is subject to 30% tax. And that number comes to 5,999 and 70 cents. Find another color. Let's do green. Now we examine this segment. 70,000 minus 50,001 times our tax rate of 40%. Taxes are getting pretty steep here in our progressive system. And that is going to equal 7,999 60 cents. And now for our final bracket, it's a little bit bigger. we're just doing kind of an and up bracket. So anything over $70,000 and $1, right? We have to count that one since 70K was already counted right here. So we're just gonna start at what I made because I didn't make anything more. I don't need to pay taxes on anything I didn't earn. I earned 100K. And I need to subtract that bottom bound of 70,001. We're gonna times that by 0.5. Big heavy taxes comes to 14,999.50. All right, so that's what each bracket you had to pay along your way. So now to find your total taxes, you just have to add them all up. So make a little space, get rid of my little visual there. So if you add 1,000, oops, 399.8, 599.7, 799.6, 14,950. Add it all together. Your total taxes should be, if I did my math right, 33,998.60. So that's your total taxes, right? So now to calculate the average tax rate, which is different than your marginal rate. Your marginal rate, you're simply just calculating each segment of that little bar graph. Now we're talking about what if you take the average of all those little chunks, what was the rate of tax you had to pay? So to do that, we're simply just going to take our total taxes divided by everything I earned that I paid taxes on. So in this case, it's going to be $399. We're going to divide it by 100K, and that should give you an average tax rate of about 34%, which makes sense. If you look at it, roughly speaking, if you take 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, take the average of that, it makes sense. You're going to come somewhere in the middle. Obviously, since that last segment isn't equal to the other ones, it should be slightly above just the middle of those numbers. But that's an easy way to just kind of check yourself and see if you're right. But yeah, so that's a little bit on taxes. I hope this was helpful. I'll continue to do videos like this. It is worth noting, I did just kind of help you with your lecture quiz that's due tonight. So if you're one of our proactive students and you watch this today, good for you. You don't need to know all the marginal tax rates. If you already know your total taxes and you already know what you pay taxes on, that's all the information you need to calculate the average. You simply just divide total taxes by that total big number you're paying taxes on, and that'll give you the average. So you'll notice that last question on your lecture quiz has some unneeded information just to kind of confuse you and make you think about it. So good for you. If you watch this video, you'll know how to do that. Anyways, thanks everyone. Thanks for being a part of our class. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you're learning and enjoying it. As always, let us know if there's anything else we can do for you. Thanks so much.